Good morning. Today I'm going to make a nice bowl. This is going to be gorgeous. I don't know if you can see this clearly, but it's going to be a really cool looking wood grain bowl, like a marbleized spalding. So this is going to be from my friend Rosie, and she's here to help me, and she's going to ask questions when she doesn't know what I'm doing. This way, because sometimes I've forgotten what questions I was asking at the beginning. So this way she can remind me of the questions I had, because at a certain point you just get used to doing stuff and you forget that not everybody knows each step. So, okay, we're gonna put the faceplate on this. I gotta measure this out, put the faceplate on, and then we'll throw it on the lathe. Okay, so I put the faceplate on this piece of wood. This part, obviously, you put the faceplate on. This part will be the inside of the bowl. We'll work on the bottom of the bowl first. This turns out to be a really tight grain, and the tighter the grain, the more design there is in it, and the harder the wood. This wood is unbelievably hard. So we're gonna put this on. I'll put my safety equipment on, and we'll get started.
What would you say so far is your favorite piece of wood to work on?
Cedar. Cedar's the softest wood ever. It's fantastic.
Does it have a smell?
Yeah, it smells like cedar. It smells like a cedar closet. It's fantastic. And you want to have this as close as it can go without hitting the wood, obviously.
How old would you say that piece of wood is?
How
old would you say that piece of wood is? Just a guess.
I have no clue. I mean, I would assume it's probably been drying for about 3 or 4 years, but I have no idea when the tree fell or was cut down. The reason I have to go from side to side though like that is because as I'm working, the chisel on that side gets, because you're holding it at that angle, gets dull. But it's still sharp on the other side, so instead of taking the time out to sharpen it each side, you just switch to the other side. You can do it twice as long, and then you have to stop and sharpen. Make sure that the bottom center is slightly concave. Otherwise the bowl will wobble on the table, like a weeble.
Okay.
There's your recess that will sit in the chuck. But what I had made, I was having trouble getting the thing to sit. You'll see the next piece that it has to go into. I was having trouble getting it to sit in there correctly and tightly. So I took an old chisel and I cut the exact shape it needed to be. So then I can hold it here and see, because it has to be slightly flanged, you know? So I can hold it here and see, is it deep enough? And it's not quite on the right angle. I have to just do a little bit more of an angle. Do you want the bowl to be narrow and come out, or do you want it like a round bowl?
I think round bowl.
The other piece, you don't usually look at what you're doing right here. You tell the shape by the horizon. Because it's going to be exactly the same there, but you can't get depth perception looking at it straight on. So you look at the horizon to see what the shape is going to be. Because looking at it right here, you can't see.
I just looked up and saw it.
All right,
Was that something you learned on your own? That to look
No,
up there?
people told me. Thank God for the wood-turning groups, because they teach you everything.
Because as soon as I looked up there is where I noticed it.
And the faster you go with the RPM, And the slower you move this,
Yeah.
the smoother surface will be. So I'm going to do this up to about 1,500, 1,600 RPMs. Yeah, back up.
For people who are beginners, what's the best wood to try to start with?
I would get 2x4s and just cut them and try to do small little dishes and stuff like that. That's the best way to do it, in my opinion. Let's sand this off and we'll turn it around. All right, so that was 80 grit to really get the grooves out. Now I've got to go over it and make it like baby butt soft, you'll see. But feel how soft that is now.
Baby butt soft. Oh, look at the pattern. Oh my gosh. That is gorgeous. Wow.
So first, I did the 80 grit. Now I'm going to go over it with 180, and then 240, and then 600.
Okay.
Just like when working on the outside of the bowl, you don't watch your progress where you're actually putting your chisel. You look to the right, and if you look at the bottom right part of the bowl, you can see the progress I'm making with the chisel much more clearly than you can see the progress where the chisel actually is. I'm going over this with sanding sealer because there's a lot of unevenness to this wood grain. It's almost like it's a burl, and I want to make sure that the wax I'm going to be coating it with will be on there evenly and not get sucked into, soaked into some spots and not into others. Now to do one last polishing with a sanding paste. Final step is to add a wax coating.
And where do you find all your products? Is it on Amazon you buy it? Or?
Yeah, pretty much. Or Rockler, like the wood turning sites.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody I'm waiting for a delivery for wood stains. The last thing I did, one of the people who had watched the video had commented to get the wood stain from Craft Supply. So I ordered it and I'm waiting for that to come in. But it's like people will tell you where to find this stuff.
Yeah.
This, I was watching a demonstration, this little light thing, I was watching a demonstration by Cindy Drozda, and she had this little magnetic light, and you can really see inside, and it's magnet, so it goes right to the chisel. Like you could put this on the chisel and get all the way in. So if you're doing something deep,
Yeah.
and it's got a dimmer. I bought the one with the dimmer switch and stuff. So she was doing the demonstration. I was like, what was that thing you just put on your tool, Russ? Like, that was amazing. Because it was, where'd you get that light? And it turns out she makes them. So I was able to order it right from her while I'm watching the demonstration. So, and it came within like 3 days. So
That's awesome.
the YouTube videos is where you get a lot of good ideas,
Mm-hmm.